What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love? What if I knew only the truth? What if my mind accepted everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. Oh, Mother, Father, Spirit, guide us from above. Our sons and daughters look to us to show them love. Come, sisters, brothers, let's hold hands and sing as one. That we will be what we've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? Love. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart said, what if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love? What if I knew only the truth? What if my mind accepted everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. Oh, Mother, Father, Spirit, guide us from above. Our sons and daughters look to us to show them love. Come, sisters, brothers, let's hold hands and sing as one, that we will be what we've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? Love. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love? What I said, what if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love? What if I knew only the truth? What if my mind accepted everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. Oh, Mother, Father, Spirit, guide us from above. Our sons and daughters look to us to show them love. Come, sisters, brothers, let's hold hands and sing as one, that we will be what we've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? Love. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love?
Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, everyone. If you happen to look at the live feed, you know that I have a guest today, a very special guest, Deborah Covington.
Thank you.
It's very enjoyable. We wish Rev Jeannie so much fun, and we know that Spirit guides her as she gives her talk today out in California. She's been sending me little video clips of peacocks running around and ocean water and her and Dakota. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're having so much fun over there. But I'm so excited you get to be the special guest today. So
pleasure.
Thank you for saying yes. And also, if you've been looking at the page or at our Instagram, we've been starting to advertise our concert coming up. Woohoo! May 8th. And so excited about that. And Deb and I are getting the band back together for it. So we just want you to know that Sisters in Spirit will be live performing. And we're very excited about that.
Very.
We also have another performer in the house. We've got Adam Smith in the house. Super excited. He's going to be sitting in on a couple of our songs with Sister in Spirit. And the group, there's different acts. I think there's 5 acts altogether. There will be a lot of collaboration going on toward the end of the concert too, so it's really exciting that we're
can't wait.
do our thing and then we'll collaborate and stuff. So we're excited that Adam has said yes to 2 of our songs. Right?
Yes,
two
yes.
songs. He's
Maybe
gonna sit
more.
on them. Oh,
We'll see.
could be possible. Yeah.
All right.
He's working it up with Marcy. Like everybody's gonna be like, Adam, come here.
It's gonna be like a love bubble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the name of the concert's Everything with Love, so
Mhm.
the more love, the better,
Yeah.
right? So cool. Well, anyway, we're excited that you're all here. We're excited for everyone in the house. We are located today, as always, at the home of Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington's practice, her classes, everything that she does. It's called UnleashYourLife.us. If you want to check it out on the website, it's at 7220 North 16th Street. So if you are in the area, you still have time because you're never late to the sofa. So we'll take you whenever we can get you. We actually planned this time so that you didn't have to give up another church if you enjoyed going somewhere else, but wanted to check us out. You can go to the early service and still get here. And that's why we planned it that way. So I don't think I say anything else in the morning. So it's, Jeannie's always got the other hat.
Talk about Michelle's work a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, and Michelle, yes. Oh my gosh. Michelle just came out with, please tell me it's in my bag. This is my Mary Poppins bag. Everything's in here. And yes. So yesterday, Thursday, I'm a business coach on the side. And so I had my little lunch and learn, Michelle's in there. And in one of her and my strategic planning sessions earlier this year, I think it was, it came out that she should create this book and look at it. It's here. It's in the flesh. It is called 10 Keys to Living Your Best Life, based on her best year yet. Yeah. She has so many tools and things that she does. And I said, that could be put into a book. You're on year 3, but I bet you're not teaching year 1 and 2 anymore. You're doing new stuff. Right. What about taking those tools and creating a book for people who haven't been in it? Plus, what a great book.
And so she gave you credit for that.
Oh, she's so sweet. So everybody, listen to me. This book, I've already looked through it quite a bit. It's called The 10 Keys to Living Your Best Life. I don't know if she's selling it on the website yet, but I would guess she probably is. I think they're I don't even know how much they are. They're not bad. It was like 15,
$12.99,
12 something. Yeah. But it's 10 keys, 10 of her practices in here. So it's like gold. It's very heavy.
I was going to say, look at how thin it is. Look at how thin it is. I love books like that because the meat of it is there.
Right? Yeah, there's no fluff. No.
It took me years to get into reading books because they were so thick, and
Yeah.
those thick ones are so repetitive.
Yeah.
Get to the meat
Right.
of it, tell me what it is, and move on, you know? And I'm sure that's what she's
You
done.
and I are
That's
like
her.
that. I think we pick it up quick.
Mhm.
Like I don't need a bunch of, but some people do need that explaining over and over. Like if you've ever read the
Yeah,
4 Agreements, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, already. What is the thing? And he wants me to be like, geez, Louise, but he goes over, and then I started thinking, you know why he does that? Because if this is a new practice, you need to hear it
True.
over to assimilate it, or you could just read it and be like, oh, that was cool, and then it not stick.
Yeah,
So
so
I
undo all the old programs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
But it's very frustrating. And sometimes I won't grab a book if I think it's going to be like that. But no,
Mhm.
you're right. This is all the meat. It goes right into the practice immediately. So
Excellent.
highly recommend everybody grabbing this. I love it. And it's just so cute. And it's the great size.
Yeah.
Just like you hold it, you know. Anyway, she doesn't ask me to do that. And she gets all bashful when I do. But I think she's my greatest mentor. And I think a lot of people in this room would say the same thing. So I just think that you shouldn't miss out on anything that she does.
That's right.
So you know.
Sure.
All
Good
right.
call.
So my darling friend Deborah is going to pray us in this morning. So hang on to your seats since it's over. Here we go.
And if you haven't already done it, I invite you to close your eyes. And let's begin by taking a deep breath in and release. Again, feel the expansion of your lungs and then the release. And one last time. These centering breaths bring us to that place of unity. And right here and right now, we open our hearts and our minds to oneness. We are blessed to be here at this time with all these beings of love. And we recognize the unity that we are. Our minds are open. Our hearts are open to receive. We are here on purpose. The intention set of experiencing love, wisdom, compassion. And I, Deborah, speak my word that I accept this time as blessed. And as we move forward, always moving forward in energy, in the energy of love, I release these words. And so it is.
And so it is.
I feel nice and grounded. Well, hello there. True has something for you, Philip. Yes, we have all kinds of new things this morning. I don't see any intention rocks though. Did everybody forget their intention
Yes.
rocks this morning? Oh my goodness.
Everybody forgot.
I didn't forget. I was waiting on you.
Waiting on the call. Well, we're very casual, easygoing here. Lots of laughter in this room. It's a joyful day. I love it. I'm feeling that way too.
Grab a rock and put an intention into it.
So if you have an intention for your time here with us this morning,
Grab a rock.
grab a symbol. We have little rocks. Just put it right here. We have little rocks. We
I
have
know you.
that's Tara.
Karen.
Tara! Oh my gosh! I have to give you a hug though.
Well, it's a little reunion now. Everybody's excited to see Deborah. But listen, if you have an intention for today, find something that represents that or a little rock like we have here and set it down. And this is your intention for our time together to stay grounded in this present while together. We're informal today. I love it though. This is what you miss when you don't come here. So come be with us. We have such a good time. Listen, so thank you so much. There it is. Love it. Love it. Yep. We put them up here. Thank you. Perfect.
I can be trained.
Oh, I love that. All right. Well, let's just get right to this topic here because it's a good one. I said, ooh, last week, remember I said, oh, we're going to be with Deb on this one. All right, let's do that. Abundance is my divine right, and I claim it now. Let's say that together. Abundance is my divine right, and I claim it now. Yes, and so it is. I claim that. I was going to say that. Oh yeah, I'm feeling a little ornery this morning, but that's all right.
You are.
All good. It's all good. But it is. It's our divine birthright. Just the fact that we're here is abundance, right? The trees don't ask for leaves; they just have them, right? We just have our abundance. That's who we are in the inner truth. And there was a reading that I found from Ernest, and I think it was this one. Yes, so thoughts of lack manifest as limitation. Thoughts of abundance manifest as success and happiness. Failure and success are but two ends of the same stick, or like we like to say, two sides of the same coin. So which one are you feeding? And you can see that. Sometimes people will say, well, it shows up in my bank account, or it shows up in my friendships, or it shows up in whatever it is, my business. But you can see it because the signs are everywhere. What's your thinking? What side of the coin are you seeing? What wolf, so to speak? Remember that story about the two wolves? Whichever one you feed gets stronger. So what wolf are you feeding? The one of abundance or the one of limitation? Which one are you focusing on? And as I look around the world today, which I try not to sometimes, but all the newsreel, everything, there's so much that's going to feed the limitation side. They're actively doing that so much right now. It's unbelievable. And I know it seems really serious. I mean, I I don't fault anybody for feeling that and running with it and feeling like, what's it all for? What are we doing? Or feeling scared or terrorized by it. And at the same time, I know that's one side of the coin. I know the other side is abundance. And it's a whole different, it depends on which side you're going to look at, right? So that's, to my mind, I'm not perfect at it. I have my own times where I have to check myself and try to keep myself on track. I do have a lot of little practices I do to keep myself there. But yeah, it's your divine right. I love that. It's my divine right. It's your divine right. And you have to claim it. Just stand in it, even when everything else is telling you something different, right?
So what comes to mind for me right now is the question of how do each of us move through our daily lives, seeing, witnessing, observing. I'm going to use the word observing what is going on in the world, what's being told to us, and yet knowing that we are more than this human being. We are divinity within ourselves. And knowing that, how do you go through your life seeing all of this and still remember, I am more than this human experience I'm having. I'm so much more than that. I heard recently the term all suffering. The core of all suffering is from the acceptance and belief in separation.
Say that one more time. Wow.
All core of suffering comes from the acceptance and belief of separation.
Wow.
And that hit me really strong because that took me to the place of separation creates lack belief. If I'm separate then from everyone here, if I'm separate from the creative source in particular, then there is going to be the belief in lack and limitation. What if, take a moment and imagine if you can spend the majority of your time during the day consistently remembering, I am that divine creative source. I am. How does that change the way the world looks to you? How does it change the way your life looks to you? For me, what shifted in me was I started looking at the people closest in my life, the ones I began there, the ones who are the mirror for me that can be the most difficult ones to look at. Sometimes my children, sometimes my friends, looking at them and going, why are you doing that? Don't you see how you're creating your suffering? And then going, Deborah, what are you looking at? How are you creating your suffering? I began then to realize that the compassion that I feel and sometimes the sadness that I feel is because I know that we are all connected. If you are suffering, I'm suffering. If you are feeling blissful and joy, guess what I'm feeling too? You know, it's the same for all of us. It really
Whether you
is.
know it or not.
Yeah.
You're aware. You have that awareness.
Absolutely.
Not everybody has that awareness.
Do you ever sometimes wake up in the morning and you feel really deep sadness? This happens to me sometimes, and I'm like, I start recapitulating what's going on in my life, what's happening, and I can't put a finger on why I feel that deep pain. And then I'll hear something that's going on in the world, and I'll go, that's what it is. I'm feeling that connection that we all are, because in reality, the basis of everything is just energy anyways. And so no matter what's going on, we're going to be experiencing it.
Right.
You know, and that's really what began to shift for me, more of going, I don't love, I don't give love, I am love. I accept I am the abundance. I accept I am the abundance. Of course I am, because I am that creative source. So there is no limitation.
Everybody should write that down. I don't give it, I am it. I
Yeah.
love that. We all should write that on
I am
something.
love.
That's a huge, that's a great affirmation to say every morning. I don't give that. I am it, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to stick in the middle of that, but I thought, write that down real quick, everybody. I wrote it down. I love it.
And then for me, during my experiences daily, when I feel that human challenge come in and I start getting frustrated or upset about something or at someone, I start feeling irritated by someone. There's this voice in my head now. Years ago, I heard Neil Donald Walsh say, ask yourself daily, what would love do now? And that's what comes to my mind. That stuck with me, and that's what comes to my mind now. Once I started accepting and really embracing that I am love, I'm made from that energy. Then when I'm in that place of sometimes forgetting it, sometimes feeling that I purposely, maybe subconsciously disconnected myself from that experience of really knowing it, then that question comes up every time in my brain of, what would love do now, Deb? What would love do?
I love that. That's awesome.
It's very healing, very healing.
Pulls you right back to the present immediately.
Absolutely.
As soon as you do that, it pulls you away from whatever it is you're spinning around about and pulls you right back into the present, and asking that question is where you are.
Yeah.
That's very powerful. And I have a practice I'll teach you guys at the end that's going to be perfect to set that inside yourselves. I love that.
Okay.
You know, when you're talking about, what came to me when you were talking about, there it is, the core of suffering is acceptance and belief of separation. And then you wake up and you have that sadness because you're empathic in that way that some people are unaware of what that is, why they feel this or that. They just, I don't know what they do, but if have any awareness, I think every human being can be empathic. I think every human being can have that. It's based on your level of awareness, I think, as to what that is, because we're all connected and we all do feel what's going on. But if you have so many layers of your BS system on top of it, you may not be aware of what that is operating underneath you, right? You're just irritable or what? I just wake up grumpy. Like, no, you don't wake up grumpy. You're feeling things, right? And I've heard a quote recently where they said, what I'm not changing, I'm choosing. What I'm not changing, I'm choosing. And that really that got me hard because I thought, oh my gosh,
Right? Exactly.
what am I not changing? And I'm choosing that.
Sorry.
It's okay. And I'm choosing that to be my life,
Right.
or that to have, control over my life. And that's very frustrating to think about that. Like, okay, hold on a minute. So when I'm coaching somebody in my business, I will ask them a question. What do I need to stop? What do I need to start? And what do I need to continue doing?
Mm-hmm.
Look at everything that's going on based on this particular goal that you might have. So you have a particular goal. What should I stop, start, and continue doing? And you already know. I don't have to tell you anything.
Right, right.
They do all the work for me. They just start. I mean, it like starts to, well, I need to start. I could start this. I should stop doing that. Like, yeah, you already know. Like if you have a goal, think of the goal you have right now, a big goal. Maybe you've had it on every year on your resolution list. This year, I'm going to make this happen for me, or this year, I'm going to lose that, whatever. And this year, I'm going to ask yourself, what do I need to stop, start, and continue? And you already know.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you do it or not is another story, but you already know. You are the most powerful being incarnate in your body. Like you are everything right in here. So you already have it. But what you're choosing, what you're not changing, you're choosing. What you're not, so if I wake up and I feel grumpy and I'm aware like you are, and I say to myself, why am I feeling this way? What's going on? And then I see a news channel, I see that, and I can go, oh yeah, see, that's awful. See those stupid this and that, and they're doing this, and what am I doing?
Affirming it.
Right. I'm choosing that. I'm feeding that wolf. I'm choosing. And then I go to work and I look on the news. Anything else about that? Oh yeah, see, did you hear about that, Deb? Did you see the so-and-so did the such and such? And now aren't you feeling great? No, you're not feeling great.
No.
You're feeling terrorized, you're feeling worried, it's growing and growing, right? Or I can choose something else. I can choose to send love there. I can choose to use my superpower, which is my prayer work, and I can choose to see something else, even though maybe that's the side of the coin that I'm seeing on the TV is the other side. I can choose the other side of that coin for myself, right? And the more of us that do that, we are powerful beyond measure, right? We have all the power within us to create the experience we want to be having.
Right.
So if I choose, then that's what I change that. That's what I'm choosing to experience in my life. And that's the same thing with abundance. I look around and I say to myself, well, my bank account doesn't match abundance. I don't have abundance isn't real, or I'd have an abundant bank account. Well, what do you need to stop, start, and continue doing so that you have an abundant bank account? What does that look like? You're like, I already know that. I don't want to. Let me write down a few things. You already know. So what are you choosing? It's not that there isn't abundance out there. What are you choosing?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that there isn't unlimited resources, unlimited possibilities. We know that's a fact in our consciousness, right? You all know that. You've heard it said. Infinite possibilities. It's endless. But why? So then why am I choosing this? Because I'm not changing those things? Because I'm not choosing to change those things? I'm not standing in my divine right and claiming what I want to be experiencing? Instead, I'm claiming the other thing. And then I say, well, see, it's this way, and I'm negative. And
I think, you've heard that old term, misery loves company.
That's an oldie but goodie. That's an oldie but goodie right there.
For me, that term, once again, is the core of, we crave connection. We crave that experience of feeling connection. Mm-hmm. And we'll do it in whatever way we can find it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's through suffering. Sometimes it's through joy. Sometimes it's through abuse.
Yeah.
But we want to know, and that comes from the truth that at the core of our being, we know consciously on a subconscious level as well too, but on a spiritual conscious level, we know that we're not separated. However, we come into this physical being in order to create. Mm-hmm. And the creation that we create is really an illusion, because it's in this so-called limited space that we see, that we feel. This is going to get a little out there.
Oh, let's go, Deb.
In my younger years, I used to get really confused because at night time I would, what I found out later was called astral traveling, and I would go to a more non-physical experience. And I didn't want to come back here because the difference of feeling, it was such a strong awareness for me of that lack of limitation, of weightlessness, of not being limited to have to use words to communicate, of a knowingness that was so expansive. And then when it came time for my body to wake up, it felt like I was slamming back into my body. And I did not like that experience because it felt so heavy and debilitating and limitating. And that's when I started to realize for me and question, oh, there's something more than what I'm experiencing here in this humanity part. There's something so much more of that, and so spent many years not wanting to be here. I did not want to be in this experience. It wasn't, I'm not saying that it was an emotional thing like I wanted to end it. It was never that. It was just knowing that I, at some level, on the spiritual level, I knew that I chose to come here and have this experience. And the I-ness of me is hard for me to describe because there really is no I, but my human conscious experience was, I just don't want to be here. I don't like this experience. Why do I keep wanting to come here? Why do I come here? And going through that and going through a lot of soul searching. And at some point, I can't even tell you when it was, but at some point, because it was gradual, I started recognizing, because this is this form of creation. And I'm a creator. That's why I'm here doing this, because I'm here to create. We're all here creating. And yeah, it's an illusion, but man, this can be a really fun and really good experience to have if I allow myself to recognize that, yeah, it feels different, but that's why I'm here, because it is different. This experience has emotions. This experience has that friction, the friction that we feel in the growth and the moving forward. And I started finding ways to appreciate that more. I haven't astral traveled in years. I can't even remember the last time I did, which tells me, when I look back at that, it tells me I'm here. I'm doing this. The big I is doing this.
Yeah.
Not the little person that, not so little, but not the little person that's sitting here isn't really doing this. Yeah. And that's that abundance level that really hits home with me. Last year I started my own business, and surprisingly enough, there was no fear to it. I had no fear. I knew it was time. It was like cutting off your hair. It's time to leave that behind and move forward on who I am and step into that power that's in me.
Feels so good.
And I can sit here today and tell you, there really isn't that much more money in my bank account, but I have more. Wait a minute, I said that wrong. It hasn't felt like there's been more. When I track it monetarily, there hasn't been that much more money flowing in, and yet there's more in my bank account. That's what I meant to say. I have more in my savings account and my banking account consistently, and yet I did my financials for the end of the year, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening, because I didn't make much more this last year than I did before, and yet I have more.
Don't you love how that works?
I know, it's like, I feel so much more abundant. I'm like, wow. Okay, well, I'm not going to question. I'm just
Keep doing whatever you're doing.
Yes. I read a book recently. I did read a book, a full thing, by Jeff Foster, who is in Britain. And the title of the book is The Deepest Acceptance. And it really began to hit home for me a lot, because the basis of what he's saying is you don't have to accept anything. You don't have to be worried about accepting anything that's happening in your life, because you've already accepted it or it wouldn't be there. And it's kind of like what you were saying about what you're choosing. You know, well, I don't want to accept this is happening. Sorry, you already have, because it's there. If you hadn't been willing to be open and accept it, guess what? You wouldn't be experiencing it.
I love that.
That's why we can look at other people and go, "Oh, I've never experienced that in my life." Well, you just didn't accept it. It wasn't there for you.
That's a good one. I love that.
So I've really, like you said, I've really been taking a big look at that and going, okay, so I really gave up meaning that experience of, okay, let me say this. I used to feel like there was this sweetness about the agony of longing for something, longing for love, longing for more, longing for money, longing for health. It felt sweet to me, and something changed, and I went, no, that feels like I'm suffering. Feeling like I have to have more. We always have more.
Yeah.
There's always more. You know, so in that, once again, I went, oh, that's because I was busy holding on to that illusion of limitation. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. That special love is not in my life. That special whatever, that special car, that special whatever is not in my life. And then letting go of that and going, it doesn't feel sweet to me anymore.
I think it's like that. There was that movie where the guy said to the girl, "You just like the drama." And she was so like, "I do not." He's like, "Yeah, you do. Do you pay your bills on time, or do you wait till it's the last second and then you just hurry up and get it, or you make the call, the whole thing?" And she was like, "What?" and he listed like several things where she was like, "What?" And then she went home and she thought about it, and she was like, "Do I love?" She likes to keep herself in that spin, that place. And then so then every time she does complete that, it's probably a dopamine hit. It's probably some kind of an addictive thing, right? So you keep yourself in this space, but it's not like it doesn't really feel good.
No.
We romanticize it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so, isn't that so funny? But you don't even notice you're doing that unless another person in your sphere comes across and has the guts to say it to you, then you're like, what? And even if you're offended, it's like, hold on a minute. Wait a minute, let me think about that.
Yeah.
And then you see your
that.
little shadow of self comes out a little bit and goes, oh yeah, I am here. I'm just hiding behind you there. You know, and I think, it makes me think about that. There is that, but if you stop that, let that go, like that the human experience, we are so used to spinning and spinning and spinning. And I've talked about this before, like if you have the now moment, so the present moment's in the middle, right? And then you have the future thinking and the past thinking, and you've got all your stories, and you're just spinning and you're spinning and you're spinning. And oftentimes we future think and past think and story tell ourselves, and we're running around like this. Yeah. And I always say that's the real hamster wheel. That's the real hamster wheel we're all on, is the staying out of the present moment, because the present moment doesn't feel like that. The present moment is calm. It's actually calm. True. It's peaceful. You have confidence. You have all your ideas, you know, all your powers there, but it doesn't feel whatever that is. And if you might be hooked on that feeling that you think that's normal. And it's actually, no, our being is calm. Our being is peace. Our being is joy, you know? And so having times to find that space of just, that's why meditation is so powerful, because it gives you another side of that. I could be this, or I could be this, you know, or I could run with everything over here. Or I could calm down right here, you know, and then ask myself, what's the next thing for me to do? You know? So we get caught up in the spinning and it feels like that feels almost good. Almost like it's probably some kind of dopamine, something in our, in this human system that we're confusing for good. But if you ever have calmed down your life and run from a calm space, that feels really amazing. It's just not always easy to get there and stay there because everything else runs like this, you know?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
But what I was going to say to some of the points that you made that I really liked was that whatever is, sometimes I want to make sure, and Jeannie's always really good about making sure we don't ever discount the experience that we're having.
No.
And we don't ever feel bad or shameful about the experience we're having. So if you're looking around going, wow, Michelle said all this and Deb said all this, and I don't have, my bank account doesn't show abundance. Nope, I'm in lack again. Yeah, I knew it. Like, no, that's not what we're doing. We're not doing that. None of this is for naught. I mean,
Right.
It's not for naught.
No.
There's not a single experience you've ever had that has been unimportant or bad, even though you think
That
it
didn't
is.
contribute.
Right.
Exactly. There's always a purpose. for
Right.
it.
There's things that people don't know about me that I've experienced throughout my life. And it makes me who I am right now.
Mhm.
It makes me compassionate, and it makes me like, it's like, oh my gosh, I've told this one before. So I don't know where I've told this, but it's like the girl that I used to like who had the perfect nose. And I don't know if some of you knows about me, but I never liked my nose as a kid, all grown up. I used to have I'm half Jewish. So my nose had a bump on it, used to have a bump on it. So most of my life I had a Jewish nose. And when I got old enough and I had that shaved off. And I kind of regret that today because I recognize now that I didn't realize it then, but I know now that it was something that was Jewish showing in me. And I didn't realize that as a kid. I just knew I didn't like it. And I got teased for it. Because people, oh, don't you ever break your nose? You got to, it was awful. So there's this one girl, I remember always thinking her nose was so perfect. My son back there has the most beautiful, perfect nose I've ever seen in my life. And I tell him all the time, like, I don't know where you got that nose, because my side of the family has Jewish noses. And his dad, like, I don't know where, but his nose is like, oh, I love that nose. But the thing I realized one day, I don't know if somebody said something and then it occurred to me, oh my God, I don't get to just have her nose. I'd have to have her parents. And you all know how much I love my mother and my dad. I love my dad too, but my mom, I wouldn't give up my mom for anything.
Right.
So I can't have this person's one thing, because then I have to have all the things that make up that.
Mhm.
No, I don't want to. You know what I mean? So I could certainly look back on my life and say, I wish I had made a different choice. I wish I had done this. We all can do that. I would encourage you to not do that.
Right.
I would encourage you to look back and say, bless that.
Mhm.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, because I'm who I am now. And even if you're thinking, well, I don't completely like who I am now, it's fine. Then make another choice. Make a different choice. This experience is then showing you what you don't want to do or what you don't want to be experiencing. It's all for this little piece of God experience for the collective. Go ahead, Anna. I know.
You were talking about, how it feels when someone, not confronts you, but calls something to attention that you don't love about yourself. And
Yeah.
it brought up two thoughts for me. One is that's also part of what I'm creating, is that person to bring that awareness to me.
Yeah.
Smart. Yeah.
Mhm.
But also, as I grow and as I have grown and recognize my own value, the quality of the people in my circle has changed, so that when
Yes.
someone brings that to me in these days, it's in love and enlightenment. And it's like, oh, God, thank you. I don't know why I was thinking that. This one will say to me, what were you thinking? Tell me what you're thinking right now. But I think that, and that's another power of the tribe, of the
I love
people
this.
who we trust and who we value, and we know they value us.
Yeah.
And so what they bring to me is an awareness that I know will only make my life better. Doesn't have to hurt.
I love that,
Mhm.
Anne,
Yeah.
because that is
Yeah,
so
that
true.
is
As
good.
we evolve, so does our circle,
Mm-hmm.
and their ability then to feel like they should or could tell you
Yeah,
something,
for sure.
and then your ability to receive,
Yeah.
that grows too, and we just keep evolving and growing. That's a huge understanding right there, because when we're younger, we tend to like, I already know. Thank
Or,
you. Like,
no,
what-
you do.
Yeah, you
I
know.
don't know that. You
Oh
do.
yeah, what about you? You do X, Y, Z. Like, oh my gosh, deflective, right?
Mhm.
Now I think we get to this age where we're like, no, please, because I want to be creating a life I love. So I don't want anything
Mhm.
operating in me that I'm not aware of.
And
I
those
don't
are
want
the people
anything
you go to,
going
the
on.
ones that you know
Yes.
will tell you the truth.
Yes, please go to the
Yes.
ones that tell you the truth in a loving way. Like, right, yeah, we want that,
Mhm.
yeah. So I agree. I just want to make it really clear that wherever you are today in your experience and how you're feeling and what your bank account looks like or doesn't look like, I don't care about that. But whatever you're judging or you're noticing right now, it's all good. It's all God. It's all being used for your greatest experience. It's a part of the path. So if you are saying, I want XYZ, or I want to, okay, the life I love, Michelle, okay, well, it looks like this. Well, wonderful. This is the way to it.
Mhm.
And maybe you have to go through, or I have to go through some switchbacks to get there, because that's how I do it. It's nothing's wrong with that. So Anne is like the first time I ever thought of the word shame. I think Anne brought that to my attention around shame. And now it's like my buzz, like it's in my head all the time. Like, do not have shame about the experience that you have created thus far. You created it based on what you knew at the time or what you didn't know at the time. And because you are always a creator, you can change it at any time. So I really want to be careful as to, should never be any shame in exploring how life is unfolding or how you're doing life, or if you're abundant or not, or if you're claiming it or not. Like, there's no shame in this game. That's the number one first thing to get rid of. In fact, put it out there for all to see. That's what I have to say.
Yeah.
Put it out there. Say, guess what? My bank account is actually like this. And I'd like to know how am I creating that? Because I want to create something else. You know, like, I think it grows in shame. The negative, the thing you don't want can fester there.
By its nature, it's invisible.
Yeah. And we don't want it to do that. So yeah, maybe you don't want to put it on Instagram, however you're going, but you do have a tribe. I hope you have people like, I know I can tell you anything, right?
Mhm.
There's no people that you could tell anything and know they're not going to judge you. They're going to love you anyway.
Right.
Those are your people. And maybe you bring, if something is coming to you right now and you feel this gnawing about something and you're like, well, I don't want to, that's your thing. Find someone to say, okay, here it is. Can you help me with my shadow side, or walk me through a stop, start, what am I doing here? Because this isn't what I want to be experiencing,
Mhm.
you know? So how do I fix that? But no shame, no guilt or shame. Can we just please move that over here? And let's, Jeannie and I do this platform for ourselves too. We do it to share with everyone else. We do it for ourselves too. We're both having a human experience. And so as we explore, a lot of these topics come up because we're working through these things ourselves. And we want that for everybody else. So we share, that's why we share with each other. That's why we allow the sharing to come around when people get hit with something, because sometimes spirit hits whoever, you know.
Mhm.
We've all experienced that when a friend's telling you something and all of a sudden you say a whole spiel of things and you're like, wow, I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah, yeah.
What I just said, but what was it right? It was good? Okay.
Did it make sense?
That's the divine.
Somebody needed to hear it.
Yeah, and see, I just got chills because that's the divine. That's how the divine works. We are here with each other for a reason.
Mhm.
You're not supposed to suffer alone in your room. You're not supposed to ever do anything by yourself. And if you aren't used to reaching out so anonymously, like send a message. So I don't know. You just please stop doing that. Whoever that's
you don't
for,
have to
please
be
stop doing
perfect
it.
to be a teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
you don't have to
no.
be perfect,
You can
right?
help each
How many times have we seen people in public that we think are especially spiritual teachers or
Yeah,
religious
they only
teachers,
show you that side.
and we start thinking, oh man, that's lofty. That's what I want to be. And then next thing you know, they've done something human. It's like everybody else is down on them. That always breaks my heart when I see that, because
Yeah.
you know what? I don't want you knowing all the human things I've done.
Yeah, if you're gonna judge me,
You know, yeah. If I know you love me and I trust you, I'll tell you everything,
right.
and you can tell me everything.
Right.
You
Or
know.
just a shot of caffeine, I'll tell you.
But doesn't that feel good to have people in your life that you can just say that
Oh,
you
gosh.
know, they know everything.
Mhm.
They know everything and they still are there. Well, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
They're still there. Okay.
You've talked a lot, and I totally agree with the work that you do. About making choices and making changes and doing. part of that, I want us to remember that part of that doingness too is the emotional side of self-forgiveness. Because oftentimes we can't get past that shame until we do the forgiveness work. And oftentimes it takes someone we love and trust to be able to talk to, for them to even give us permission to forgive ourselves for some choices and things we've done. You know, so once again, it's that unity, that connection that is so important, because
Right.
we're not supposed to do it alone.
Right. And it
Ever.
can feel really scary
Yeah.
to admit.
And
that
in
you've done
reality, we
something.
can't do it alone. I
Yeah.
say we're not
Exactly.
supposed to, but in reality,
No,
we
you
can't do it alone
cannot.
because we're not alone.
You
You don't
cannot.
need to.
And you
Yeah.
don't need to.
Yeah.
And you don't need to. I mean, I have people in my life right now that I'll say, well, yeah, that's how it used to, that's how it was before, but you're not doing it by yourself now.
That's right.
Guess what? You
Yeah.
never have to do that or experience that again by yourself. That's
Yeah.
done. So what do we need to do? You know, and there's nothing like that. Like, okay, wow. You know, but you, yeah, if even if you just have one person, just at least one person, please don't do that by yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah, this human experience can feel really real. It has a really,
Yeah.
real, it has a real component to it, right? It's like, it feels like like all this stuff, but you are a spiritual being and a human experience, and you're supposed to be experiencing things. You're supposed to be figuring this out and learning how to use this vehicle to create, you know? So it is what it is. Allow it to be that. And, you know, I just feel like it's a big topic. I didn't know we'd go where we went today. I never know. I never know what's going to happen.
It kills me that more people aren't experienced. I mean, it's like the discussion starts there and it changes all of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Frustrates me.
It is. And it's, have you ever, like, I remember one time I was at a church and I was sitting in the, this was years ago, I think I was like 19 years old or something. I was a young girl. I'd been out all night partying, just, you know, like living life like I thought like a 19-year-old does, right? You know, and I was exhausted, but I showed up anyway because all my older siblings who I was dying to have relationships with, they would go to this Bible study, and I wanted so badly to be accepted and loved by them that I would show up to these things. And even though I don't even know what I looked like, I must have looked like, I don't know, because I don't know what I did with my hair, because I got up the last second. I probably had it in a ponytail and just showed up. They probably were like,
Well, had mascara all down on your face, right?
I mean, I wonder now, like, did anybody know? But then there was like 500, this Bible study was so effective. There were like 500 people. It started to rival the main service. It was held during second service. So people that were in first service would stay for second service. Then people wouldn't even go to second service. Like, it was rivaling. They eventually shut him down. He ended up having his own church.
Wow.
Because he was so powerful from the stage. And so I went all the way in the back, right? Because I got there the last hot second and I just barely got my stuff together. And I'm sitting there and he's walking the stage, because he would pace when he talked. Like, he did stand on a pulpit and he didn't sit down. He paced back and forth because he just let it come through him. And then at one moment, 500, at least 500 people in the room. At one moment, he literally stopped, turned and looked dead into the audience, and it felt like he was looking right at me. So that's why whenever you say that, was that for me? Because he looked right at me and he goes, did you forget? This was a Christian church. So he said, did you forget how lost it feels without him? And I was like, oh my gosh. But it wasn't just for me. Like, everybody in the room probably was like, whoa, you know, because that's how it works. We're so connected. And it felt like I was the only one in the room for a moment. Like, it was just for me. So it's so important to allow Spirit to move and say through you whatever comes up and wherever it bounces around this room. I love that because I know what that is.
Well,
I've
think of
experienced
that question. Even allowing ourselves, I know some of us, I don't know all of us, but some of us have come from a Christian background and it wasn't exactly what worked for us.
Right.
To put it mildly, for some people,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and so, I mean, even for me, it took me years to get past the terminology that they were using
Right.
and hear the real truth and the reality
What
of
they're
what they
really
were saying. Did you forget? Leave out the rest of it.
Yeah.
Did you forget? Because I forget frequently.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when I forget, I'll beat myself up for forgetting.
Yeah.
And then I have to sit down and do the work and hear that. What would love do, Deb? Would love beat you up right now? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I remember. Now I remember.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
and that's part of being in this experience too, is sometimes the euphoric feeling it feels to return to the remembering
Yes.
again.
Oh yes, the high.
That's that dopamine feeling.
The high when you're upset about something, and then all of a sudden there's a little crack comes in and goes, oh, wait a minute, but there's lots to be grateful for.
Yes.
Ooh, you know, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's right. And then you start to build back out of it, right? You
Right.
start to come back out. Yeah, there's nothing like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna make it through this one.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh my gosh. Does anybody have anything to add? Anybody else have anything coming up? Adam does. Oh, this was lively today. I feel it in the house. I feel it in the room.
Yeah, I think especially since like learning about law of attraction and everything, it's like when things are not good, you start to think I'm bad because I'm attracting bad things. But you just have to remind yourself you can, like you said, you can, like you look at your bank account and say, what am I doing that's, reflecting that, and then change it. And sometimes we want like the answer to everything, but all I really want is just guidance and
Yes.
encouragement. And that's why I've been reaching out to my friends and surrounding myself with positive people and coming here to Selfless Sundays, because all you really need to do is the next task. You don't have to figure out
Right.
all I want is a sense of purpose and just to do the very next thing I have to do and not have to figure out all the problems of the world in one day,
Right. Oh, thank you, Adam. I think a lot of people feel that way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to do I have to solve all the problems of the world? Is it on me?
Right,
I
right.
feel like that sometimes, but
Yeah,
no, just
yeah.
your one step, just the one step. It's okay. Like, let it be. But I know it can be overwhelming if you think you do have to solve all the problems of the world in one day. That's a lot, right? No, just one step. It's just one step, right? I know. Simple.
I start my day by reading quotes that are very uplifting to me, and especially I have a 365-day book of quotes from Ventino Massaro out of the Netherlands, and the one this morning I thought it made me smile. His quote was, "The human brain is so harsh to the heart,"
Oh,
and he said, "Just stop and be love." And I went, oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder. Just those simple words sometimes and phrases can be so powerful. Like, did you forget?
Yeah. Did you forget? Did you forget who you are?
What would
Basically.
love do?
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
the song that was playing, if anybody of you popped on here before we started, we have our new song for the ministry of Everything with Love. And that's the theme of our concert coming up May 8th. But it's the first lines of the song are, what if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if you did that every day? And it's a reset, right? It's a reset, probably maybe breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let me reset that.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Or reading these quotes or keeping yourself in this space of everything with love, everything with love, everything with love. Because that's where we want to be creating a life we love. We need to be that too. We need to be expressing that. So when you see things that are not things that you love, you can bless it and you can send it love, and turn that around. Decide what you're choosing. Be intentional with your life. This is yours to do. It's not mine to do for you. It's not yours to do for me. It's yours to do, your experience to have, your journey to have. And go over it for a minute. It's been kind of cool, right? Even with the ups and downs, even with the bad stuff. Did you know the bad stuff? You made it through every bad thing. Every bad thing that you thought was going to break you. Look you're here. You got through it. Look at how strong you are, tough you are, amazing, spiritual beings you are, right? So I think sometimes those things come up just to prove what a badass you are. And I think that's okay. Name it what it is and move forward. Yes. But be with your tribe. We're not supposed to be by ourselves. just be doing it with others, or we'd be here alone. We'd all have our own planet. You know, I'd have my own planet. I'd decorate it how I wanted. All my own things, right? Yeah, that kind of is
I love
fun.
that.
I do like that idea a little bit, but no. No, I want to be with all of you.
So I just want to say thank you all for being on this journey with us,
Yeah, it's a beautiful
all of
day.
us together.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
So if no one else has anything to say, going once, going twice.
I'm gonna call
Oh.
that smaller part of me your Ines. Like when it tries to talk to me,
That's
it says,
good.
what else do you have, your Ines?
That's good. That's really
It
good.
helps if you can name it and
Yeah.
kind of laugh.
Yeah, laugh at it. Yeah,
Levity, that's important, right?
yeah, 100%. What does that feel like? That feels like,
Yes,
Woo.
your Ines. Okay, go on.
Have it.
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah, I love it. Okay, I want to run you guys through for a closing. I had this coming to me because you brought this up. I don't even know where I was going with this. So I have a tool called Set and Reset. So I'm going to have you all close your eyes. And you're going to take some deep breaths and ground yourself in this moment. Take another breath. Feel your shoulders drop. Your hands relax. And you're going to create a set point within yourself. And it starts with I am. I am love. I am light. Whatever you want to call it, that's your set point. You're creating a point within yourself. Starting with I am. And if it helps, you can think about situations that you know may be difficult. Maybe you want to create something different. And you can say, in that situation, I am blank. You fill that blank in. And when you identify it, breathe into that. Now, when you feel yourself moving away from your set point, let's practice for a moment. If I were to say, I am love, and if I experience something where I don't feel that I am being loved, that I am expressing love, then I would say, but if I were love, what would I do now? But if I were love, what would my next move be? So find that experience, find that person, find that situation where you might struggle sometimes to express love, to express your truth, to be in that knowing. And feel that moment where you pull away from that set point and you feel that tether yank you back and say, but in this moment, I am love. And then you respond with, well, if I am love, then what's my next move? If I am love, what do I do now? And that next move, the first thing that pops in your mind is your move. And as we sit in our set point, whatever that is, as we sit in the I am, we recognize there is only one. There's only one I am. And each one of us is experiencing in our own unique way this human life from that place of I am. Each one of us is love, is light, is joy, is peace. We are it. We give it because we are it already within. And I speak my word for each and every one of us here and beyond the sound of my voice, knowing that as we allow ourselves to sit in the I am, as we allow ourselves to create these set points and reset whenever needed, we come from that place of love. We come from our truth. In every situation, with every person, and in every moment. We just need to ask the simple question, well, if I were love, what would I do now? And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the simplicity of it. I'm so grateful that I can do this at any time, at any moment, to reset, to remind myself of who and whose I am, and to move forward in life, in this experience, as I want to be. And with those around me, helping them do the same. So let it go and know and trust that this is already done in the mind of God. And together we say, and so it is.
How can we support you?
Ooh, support. Well, thank you for asking, Anne. Well, you can support this ministry if you've received what I feel like I've received today, and what you receiving spiritual guidance, love, support from this ministry. You can support us by liking and sharing our feeds to others, letting them know we're here, showing up in person, giving hugs, and sharing your light with us on Sundays when we're here. You can donate to this ministry so that we can do more of this. You can also become a Spiritual Church Club partner, which is $45 a month for an individual and $75 for a family or a couple. And when you are a Spiritual Church Club partner, you get things like, well, we do have our logoed mugs that our partners all have. We have our Sofa Sundays charm, and you also get your free ticket to the concert May 8th, and also you get a reserved seat. So we try to give special perks to our partners as a thank you for supporting our work and the ministry that we have created. We want to do so much more. And so we're all supporting each other to do that. I can't think of anything else you can do to support us, but we'll just get some hugs later, but show up, invite visitors, be here. And I want to thank you especially for being here with me today. You're such a light and you bring so much wisdom through you. I just love everything that you share. So thanks for coming on a Sunday, and we're going to have you back when Jeannie's here.
Yes.
So we're going to have her on the sofa with me and Jeannie, and that's going to be, so I don't know, might have to have extra sleep that night. Woo, I know, like Deb's coming. All right, everybody.
We are known to, when we have lunches or dinners together, they end up being 2 or 3 hours. Same thing with Jeannie.
Yeah.
Jeannie and I'll meet once a month, and it's a 2 or 3 hour session.
I mean,
I just want to be there just to listen.
well, that's why we created, the reason why this ministry is on a sofa like this, for those of you that don't know the story, I know some of you know the story, is that back in the day, Ernest Holmes and all of them used to sit in a living room and they would have these conversations. And I used to think, wow, just to be a fly on the wall as they were creating new thought, like, whoa, like what are some of the things that they explored and thought about? I thought that would be so cool. So when I had these visions in my head, I didn't necessarily see a red sofa, but I did see it conversational like. And then when I shared it with Jeannie, this is what came out of it. So this is why we do it in this way, so that the stuff just comes out and we can all share it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of fun. But thank you for being here. I love you so much. You're awesome. All right. Thanks, you all. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Look for the information on the concert on the Facebook group, Sofa Sundays, and get your tickets because they're going to probably sell out May 8th. All right. See you later. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time.
partnership with New Thought Media Network.